This is not a coincidence. Before your eyes touched these words, before your finger paused the scroll, before your mind decided whether to believe or doubt, something already shifted in the unseen. Chosen one. Heaven has been watching you quietly, not judging, not rushing, not interfering, just watching. And today, after a long silence, heaven took action. God took his pen, and when the ink touched the page, your name appeared. The moment before the message. There are moments in life that feel heavy without explanation. You wake up tired even after rest. You feel disconnected even when surrounded by people. You sense pressure, yet no visible enemy stands before you. You ask yourself questions you never spoke aloud. Why does everything take longer for me? Why do I feel called for more, yet blocked at every step? Why do people misunderstand my intentions? Why do I lose people right before breakthroughs? Chosen one. Those questions were not ignored. Every sigh you released when no one was listening, recorded. Every tear you wiped away before someone entered the room, counted. Every night you whispered, God, are you still there? Heard. Heaven does not answer noise. Heaven responds to endurance, and you endured. Why heaven stayed silent? You thought heaven was quiet because you were forgotten. That is not true. Heaven was silent because too many voices were around you. God does not write messages in crowded rooms. He waits until distractions leave, until false connections fall away, until noise fades. Some people exited your life not because they were bad, but because they could not walk where you are going. Some doors closed not because you failed, but because what was behind them would have delayed you. Some prayers were delayed not as punishment, but as protection. You were being positioned, and positioning requires isolation. The pen in God's hand. There is a difference between spoken words and written ones. Spoken words can be forgotten. Written words are permanent. When God speaks, seasons shift. But when God writes, destinies are sealed. This was not a general message. This was not for the crowd. This was not meant for everyone. Heaven leaned close. God took his pen, and your name was written deliberately, not rushed, not carelessly, not accidentally, letter by letter. Because what is written cannot be undone. What was written about you? Your name was written beside words like preserved, separated, approved, protected, prepared. You were not delayed. You were being refined. You were not rejected. You were being redirected. You were not weak. You were being strengthened, quietly. Every attack that did not destroy you became evidence. Heaven saw how you stayed kind in a cruel season, how you remained honest when shortcuts tempted you, how you kept believing when logic said, stop. Chosen one. That endurance triggered the pen. The invisible signature at the bottom of the message. There was a signature. Not a name you could pronounce, not a title humans recognize. Authority itself signed it. And when heaven signs something, opposition loses permission. That is why resistance has felt intense lately. Enemies sense expiration before blessings arrive. Delays feel heavier before doors open. Spiritual pressure increases before elevation. What you felt was not defeat. It was confirmation. Why you are reading this now. Timing matters in heaven. If this message had reached you earlier, you would have doubted it. If it came later, you would have missed the instruction. This moment is precise. Your spirit is awake enough to receive it. Your heart is tired enough to surrender control. Your mind is quiet enough to listen. This is the intersection. Heaven never writes without purpose. A warning hidden in the message. Along with promise, there was instruction. Do not chase what is leaving. Do not explain yourself to those committed to misunderstanding. Do not lower your standards to feel accepted. Do not rush my timing. Some connections will test you again. They will come back with familiar words, familiar emotions, familiar energy. But familiarity does not equal alignment. Chosen one, discernment is now your responsibility. What heaven writes must be protected. The shift you haven't noticed yet. Since the moment heaven authored this message, something subtle has changed. Your tolerance for nonsense is decreasing. Your attraction to chaos is fading. Your patience for disrespect is gone. This is not arrogance. This is alignment. You are shedding versions of yourself that survived. So, the chosen version can rise. What comes next? This is not the end of the message. This is only the opening paragraph. What was written continues to unfold in stages. First, separation, then clarity, then provision, then elevation. But before all of it, rest. You are not required to fight what God already settled. Before part 2, remember this, chosen one. You were never behind. You were never forgotten. You were never unqualified. You were being written into something permanent. Heaven does not waste ink, and your name was worth the page. Chosen one. If part 1 felt heavy, it is because truth carries weight. Heaven does not reveal without responsibility. What you are about to read explains what was removed, why certain doors shut without warning, and who quietly lost access the moment your name was written. This part is not comforting. It is clarifying. What heaven removed without asking you. Some things left your life suddenly. No closure, no explanation, no warning. At the time, it felt unfair. You replayed conversations. You questioned your words. You blamed yourself. But heaven was not confused. God removed what you would not release. Not because you were weak, but because attachment was blinding discernment. Some people were draining your future while feeding on your familiarity. Some environments were comfortable but poisonous. Some habits were numbing your calling quietly. Heaven saw what you could not. So removal happened swiftly. Mercy often looks like loss at first. Why God did not explain the removal. If God had explained, you would have argued. You would have negotiated. You would have delayed obedience. You would have tried to fix what was never meant to stay. So heaven acted in silence. Chosen one. God does not explain exits to hearts still emotionally attached. Clarity comes after separation. That is why understanding came later, after the tears, after the anger, after the exhaustion. Only then could truth settle. The doors that closed suddenly, you knocked, you prepared, you believed it would open, and it didn't. Not because you weren't ready, but because the door belonged to a version of you that could not survive what's coming. Some doors close to prevent you from shrinking yourself again. Some opportunities disappear because they were too small. Chosen one. Heaven refuses to promote you into places that would cap your growth. Closed doors were not rejection. They were redirection, disguised as disappointment. The people who lost access. Not everyone who smiles is allowed to stay. When your name was written, access levels changed. Some people noticed immediately. Their energy toward you shifted. Their tone changed. Their interest faded. Others felt uncomfortable without knowing why. Chosen one, alignment exposes intentions. Those who benefited from your insecurity could not remain once you began to rise internally. Heaven revoked access quietly. No announcement, no confrontation, just distance, and distance was protection. Why some people turned against you. This part hurts, but it must be said. Not everyone wanted you healed. Some liked you confused. Some liked you dependent. Some liked you doubting yourself. Your growth threatened their control. So they questioned your motives. They doubted your faith. They minimized your progress. Chosen one. People resist what they cannot dominate. Their behavior revealed what heaven already knew. The silent battle you survived. You fought wars no one saw. You showed up when your spirit was tired. You smiled when your heart was heavy. You kept going when quitting felt logical. Heaven witnessed battles you never spoke about. That endurance activated divine authorization. When heaven writes your name, it is because you passed unseen tests. Tests of patience, tests of integrity, tests of restraint. You passed quietly. The shift in your discernment. Notice this. You no longer explain yourself excessively. You walk away faster. You feel peace choosing distance. This is not coldness. This is wisdom. Chosen one, discernment is heaven's upgrade. You are no longer available to everything. You no longer tolerate confusion. You no longer chase validation. That is alignment taking root. Why the weight felt unbearable. Waiting refined you. If things had happened sooner, you would have given credit to people instead of God. If doors opened earlier, you would have mistaken access for approval. Heaven delayed so you would recognize the source. Now you know. What comes next cannot be taken away by humans because it did not come from them. A warning before the next phase. Some things will try to return. Old connections, old patterns, old temptations. They will come dressed as familiar. They will sound convincing. They will promise comfort. Chosen one, do not reopen doors. Heaven closed. What returns is testing your growth. Discernment decides destiny now. The confirmation you needed. If you've felt lonely, it's because transition isolates. If you've felt misunderstood, it's because elevation creates distance. If you've felt pressure, it's because transformation compresses before release. You are not regressing. You are transitioning.